Ito ang Broad Stream Cast Communicators, ang naiiba at kakaibang plataforma sa digital broadcast. Mula Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao hanggang sa iba't ibang dako ng mundo. Broad Stream Cast Communicators, ang sandigan ng sambayanan mula sa walang labis at walang kulang na pagbabalita, paglilingkod, maglalahad ng mga mapagbuong komentaryo at usaping pambayan para sa kapakanan ng karamihan. Broad Stream Cast Communicators, tuwirang maglilingkod ngayon hanggang sa susunod na henerasyon. Ang sino mang lingkod bayan ay may tungkulin na pinanumpaan. Nanumpa na maglilingkod ng buong puso batay sa tanggapan na kanyang pamumunuan. Bago ang lahat, mamamayan muna. Ito ang palatuntunang maglalahad ng mga tuwirang impormasyon upang magsilbing gabay ng ating mga nanunungkulan saan mang tanggapan ng pamahalaan para sa kapakanan ng mamamayan. Bago ang lahat, mamamayan muna. Maglalatag ng mga naangkop na payo para sa lahat ng mamamayan na umaasam ng tunay na pagbabago at kaginhawahan sa buhay. Bago ang lahat, mamamayan muna. At ngayon, narito ang inyong lingkod, Cora Alma De Leon.
Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. Please like and share our live video and our FB page, Broad Stream Cast Communicators. Or you can also follow me on Facebook at Cora Alma De Leon, as well as you can contact me to our cell phone 0918-912-3546. As you know, our program is Bago ang Lahat, Mamamayan Muna, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. At nakita nyo na kung sino ang ating panauhin, si Evelyn pa sa Laksina, a good friend. I worked with her but she had always been an international person, kaya gusto ko makakaimbita tayo na somebody who had lived abroad at the same time they contributed to the work that is related, of course, to Red Cross. Kung may komento o tanong kayo tungkol sa ating pinag-uusapan, tungkol sa ating ni-interview, mag-comment lamang sa ating live video. Meron tayong kasama dapat si Reymund Arcega. Hindi pa siya nag-i-in, pero sisimulan na natin ang programa. We usually begin with the prayer for the nation. Lord, let me be the change I want to see, to do with strength and wisdom all that needs to be done, and become the hope that I can be. Set me free from my fears and hesitations. Grant me the courage and humility. Fill me with spirit to face the challenge and start the change I long to see. Even if I'm not the light, I can be the spark in faith, service, and communion. Let us start the change to see the change that begins in me. I'm sure that resonates kay Evelyn, having worked abroad, kitang-kita natin na any change also begins with her as she goes to different countries. At ngayon naman, manunumpa ako sa watawat na dati ko nang ginagawa for 34 years in government. Ako ay Pilipino, buong katapatang nanunumpa sa watawat ng Pilipinas at sa bansang kanyang sinasagisan na may dangal, katarungan at kalayaan na pinakikilos ng sambay ng makadiyos, makakalikasan, makatao at mga bansa. Nandito na yung ating kasama, partner natin sa programa, and he will give us the panunumpa ng lingkod bayan. Go ahead, Reymund.
Panunumpa ng mga kawani ng gobyerno. Ako ay kawani ng gobyerno, tungkulin ko ang maglingkod ng tapat at mahusay. Dahil dito ako'y papasok ng maaga at magtatrabaho ng lampas sa takdang oras kung kinakailangan. Magsisilbi ako ng magalang at mabilis sa lahat ng nangangailangan. Pangangalagaan ko ang mga gamit, kasangkapan at iba pang pagmamayari ng pamahalaan. Magiging pantay at makatarungan ang pakikitungo ko sa mga lumalapit sa aming tanggapan. Pagsasalita ako laban sa mga katiwalian at pagsasamantala, hindi ko gagamitin ang aking panunungkulan sa sarili kong kapakanan. Hindi ako hihingi o tatanggap ng suhol. Sisikapin kong madagdagan ang aking talino at kakayahan upang ang antas ng paglilingkod sa bayan ay patuloy na maitaas sapagkat ako'y kawani ng gobyerno at tungkulin ko ang maglingkod ng tapat at mahusay sa bayan ko. At sa panahong ito, ako at ang aking kapwa kawani ay kailangan tungo sa isang maunlad, masagana at mapayapang Pilipinas. Sa harap ninyong lahat, ako'y taus-pusong nanunumpa.
Thank you very much, Dr.Reymund Arcega. I will dispense with my reflections na today is Saturday, pero si Chief Justice Davide ay merong message na I like to read dahil very helpful siya sa atin in sending his messages. Sabi niya, I will read it. Sorry. Okay. It reads like this. In God's mind, every day is a new day, full of His mercy and forgiveness. In God's eyes, everyone is beautiful, loving and caring. In God's heart, love is everywhere, even in times of joy, sorrow, or pain. In God's hands, everything is possible and promising. In God's time, the best is yet to come. And of course, trust God, thank God. Have a great day ahead. God bless us and our loved ones always. Meron din akong idadagdag na official statement ng Philippine Red Cross regarding the issue called by our national government. Pero patutugtugin muna natin yung yan ang Pilipino para magkaroon tayo ng konsepto kung ano ang papel na ginagampanan ng Red Cross dito. Pakinggan natin itong kanta na yun.
Pilipino, naiiba, natatangi, alamin ang mga ginintuang katangian ng ating dakilang lahi.
Iba-ibang ating pinagmulahan, sa iisang bayang sinilangan. Mga islang biyaya sa pinagpala, likha ng isang Diyos o bathala. Tinataglay ang dakilang yaman, sa atin binigay ang perlas ng silangan. Gintong lupa't karagatan, kay gandang kalikasan, ito'y sasagipin pangangalagaan.
Yan ang Pilipino, mapalad ang lahing ito, likas ang talino, kailangan ng mundo ang Pilipino. Mapagmahal ang lahi ko, may tapang malasakit, kaming mga Pilipino. Mapalad ang lahing ito, likas ang talino, payabunin natin to, ang Pilipino. Mapagmahal ang lahi ko, masipag malikhain, yan ang Pilipino.
Halo-halo man ang ating tipi, iisa pa rin ang ating lahi.
Katotohanan ng kalooban, ating isabuhay. Ako, ikaw, tayo'y magmahalan.
Yan ang Pilipino,
kaming mga Pilipino. Mapalad ang lahing ito, likas ang talino, payapungin natin to ang Pilipino. Mapagmahal ang lahi ko, masipag malikhain, yan ang Pilipino. Mapalad ang lahing ito, likas ang talino, kailangan namin ito ang Pilipino. Mapagmahal ang lahi ko, ay dapat malasakit kaming mga Pilipino. Likas ang talino, payabunin natin to ang Pilipino. Isa ang lahi, halo-halo man ang libig, yan ang Pilipino.
Maraming salamat kay Ginang Sonia Rocco for making this song available for our program. Katulad ng sinabi ko, I will just get excerpts from the official statement of Philippine Red Cross, which was published in the newspapers as well as in Facebook. Unang-una, the Philippine Red Cross, as defined by Republic Act 10072, is a voluntary, independent, and autonomous non-governmental organization. As such, we do not receive appropriations from the government. The bulk of our funds come from private donations of generous individuals, corporations, and partner international Red Cross societies who trust in our ability to deliver life-saving services to the most vulnerable. Sometimes agencies like Department of Health, the Bangko Sentral of the Philippines, and the Philippine Charity Sweepstakes choose to voluntarily donate to the PRC for specific programs. While these donations constitute a small part of our funds, they are properly liquidated and no dispute has ever been raised regarding this. Being PRC is not a government agency, it is not subject to audit by the Commission on Audit. The PRC audit is conducted by private international accounting firm, which is also the auditor of the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies, which receives a copy of independent audit report. Amidst our regular operations and the hundreds of millions entrusted to PRC by our local and entire international partners for initiatives in major disasters like Typhoon Hayang, Ondoy, Sendong, to name a few, there have been no findings of any wrongdoing on the part of the institution. Therefore, we stand solidly behind Chairman Gordon as he leads the valiant efforts of PRC to serve millions of suffering Filipino people, especially during this protracted pandemic. Our mission to aid and comfort the afflicted and to save lives beckons every day, and amidst the suffering of our people, we will continue to fulfill our mandate and find ways to uplift the Filipino of every Filipino. And we must explain that when we temporarily suspended the testing of patients who were supposed to be covered by PhilHealth, it had an outstanding balance of almost 800 million and had failed to make payment as promised. We did so because we were exercising fiscal responsibility. To begin with, the COVID-19 testing should be the job of government. We merely stepped up when there was a need, as we know that we are auxiliary to government. To allow our finances to bleed from operational expenses and supplies related to testing because government does not pay their obligation would severely compromise our much needed services to the suffering and marginalized. Such irresponsibility would also cause us to lose credibility with the confidence of our donors and jeopardize our ability to raise funds and continue to serve our people to the other services, such as blood bank, serving almost 50% of the national blood requirement, a dialysis center, disaster management, ambulances, 170 units. The misconception that we are government. We are auxiliary to government. We have our own funding. If government pays something, it's in relation to particular project. So tamang-tama ang bisita natin ay si Evelyn Lacsina at siya naman ay nagtatrabaho sa Yemen as an part of the International Federation of Red Cross. Kaya makikita niya na nakakaroon din ng mga problema yung mga international mga Red Cross Society sa ibang bansa, pero unusual tun sa atin nangyari dahil nagkaroon ng issue tungkol na ang akala ng mga tao ay gobyerno ang Philippine Red Cross. Hindi po. We have our own funds, and if ever government gives some money, it is in relation to particular activities. So yun lang po, at patuloy na natin, simulan na natin yung interview, and I will ask Dr.Reymund Arcega to start throwing the question dahil siyang interesadong makakilala sa ating mga panahuin. Dahil siya mismo ay nasusurprise kung sino-sino ang mga naimbita natin na panahuin. Kaya kahit na siya ay nasa sasakyan at nagbibiyahe sa kanyang other activities, he sees it fit that he joins us in our program at exactly 5 o'clock. Tama-tama. So, please ask your question now to Evelyn Lacsina. She'll be very happy to answer your questions.
Una't higit sa lahat, maraming salamat sa ating mga tagapakinig ngayong hapon na ito. Tayo po ay napakapalad na sa ating programang Bago ang Lahat, Mamamayan Muna, isa na namang butihing panauhin ng ating makakapanayam sa katauhan ni Ma'am Evelyn Lacsina. At bago po tayo mag-umpisa, bagamat si Ma'am ay kilala na ni Secretary De Leon, Ma'am Lacsina, gusto pong malaman ng ating mga tagapanood at tagapakinig, no, kung saan po kayo pinanganak, ano po ang inyong, sino po ang inyong mga magulang, saan po ang inyong probinsya, siguro po pati yung inyong mga eskwelahan na kung saan ay nakapag-aral po kayo, ganun din po ang mga posisyon na naibigay po sa inyo, no? At na mahusay at matapang po ninyong nagampanan. Maraming salamat po. Magandang hapon, Ma'am Evelyn Lacsina.
Okay, maraming salamat Dr. Reymund. Okay, una magpapakilala ako sa sarili ko. I'm Evelyn Paasa during my single years. So, I was born in Causwagan, Lanao del Norte. And then, that is where I have my high school, my elementary days. And since we are not that rich family, no? So, during my high school, I moved to Cagayan de Oro City. And started at the Misamis Oriental General Comprehensive High School. It's one of the best public high school in Cagayan de Oro. And then after that, we need to have a support system. So during my college days, I moved to Manila. I lived with my aunt and studied nursing at Far Eastern University. So that was my high school days, no, my days. And then after that, during my college days, in my 4th year, this is where we have actually community nursing affiliations during last year. And then this is where we have a special training with the Philippine Red Cross, and it was Jelma Cumpio de la Peña.
Yeah.
Was one of our best
Senior.
Yeah. So then after that, so many of us really inspired by the Red Cross. And after my graduations, and I passed the board exam at least one of the top 10 during my days. And I was fortunate that during summer, I was first linked to Manila chapter as a volunteer. So Jelma recommended me to be a volunteer instructor in Manila chapter because they have the summer institute every summer.
Yes.
and I teach home nursing and disaster nursing, and that was the start. Then after that, there was the merong project on national headquarters that time, and then they invited me to be at the national headquarters. I started as a casual nurse. Alam mo, during those days it was in 1982 na, because I graduated
Madili.
in 1981. So in 1982, that was actually the startup of my career, and it was really Red Cross period, from college, then to Red Cross, volunteer, to Red Cross, to Manila chapter, and then to national headquarters as casual. 1982, so grabe that time. You remember when we were on a daily casual basis, no? The salary that time is not nakakatuwa, but at least it always commensurate with the it always commensurate with the timing during that time. And then after as a casual nurse, as a primary healthcare nurse, because that was where the Philippine National Red Cross the time of Ma'am Gloria Sinador, former,
Yes. Secretary
yeah,
General.
yeah, the Secretary General, and they have the first project of primary healthcare, and that was the height of the primary healthcare, wherein the Red Cross has been engaged in primary health care. And there was, I think, this kind of major conference attended by mostly national society. And I think there was a commitment for the Philippine Red Cross to be part of the primary health care agenda of the government. And and then we have a project, and this is first funded by the Netherlands Red Cross, and it's on a primary health care. So I think that was a good experience for us. Kasi this is where we engage with the UP College of Nursing. So we have a combined curriculum of training of barangay health workers. So we contributed a lot during the time to increase the number of barangay health workers in the Philippines, because from 1982 up to hanggang late 1990s, we continuously train barangay
Yeah.
health workers almost all throughout the Philippines. First at the national level, represented by the different national branches, chapters, and then after that, we we devolve this at the regional level kasi para mas malapit, and then later on municipal level training of barangay health workers. It was really a great experience for
Yeah.
me, working with the Department of Health, with the UP College of Nursing as our instructors. So that's it. Then after that, um, I stayed with the Philippine Red Cross for I think 23 years. I started the casual nurse, and then I become permanent, become a national field representative during the time. As a national representative, we almost go around the Philippines in most
Country.
chapters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then after that, I became a supervisor, and then later on, the HNS manager of the Philippine Red Cross for 23 years. And then in 2005, I joined the federation, but I'm still connected with the Red
Yeah.
Cross at the time. So ibig sabihin, they allowed me to go out because there was a request, and I think I'm very thankful for the Red Cross for that support. Allowing all their staff to enhance their skills and to
Yes.
experience.
Yeah.
So my first mission was in Myanmar, 2005 to 2007. Then after that, I went back to the Philippine Red Cross because I'm still connected with Philippine Red Cross, and this is where
Yes. We met.
Mom John is our big support. And then after that, I went as a SOR delegate to Myanmar. There was this typhoon flooding, but
Yeah.
after that, I joined the Pakistan again as Federation delegate from 2013 to 2018 in Pakistan, or I think
Mm.
2017. Then after my Pakistan, I joined the Afghanistan delegation from
18.
Pakistan delegation. I think it was 2013.
Earlier.
Earlier, yeah. After
Uh,
Pakistan, because I started Pakistan 2010.
Okay.
for
Then
15.
2013,
2016 to
oo.
I joined Afghanistan delegation.
And how long were you in Afghanistan?
I stayed there for almost 3 months and 3 months and I think 3 years to 2 months. So in
Aha.
Afghanistan,
Wow.
and then after
But they
that,
didn't have the problem then which they're facing now, di ba? Meron na ba Taliban at the time?
meron na pong Taliban that time.
Pero
But then in only specific areas, there are still some faction between the government and the Taliban, no, and some other groups. And then after that, I joined my mission. I joined the federation in Yemen from 2018 until 2020. But because I need to have some uh, medical treatment, so I was on leave that time, but my contract actually ended in 2020 February. So that's my last in Yemen. Yeah.
for health reasons, is that the case?
Yeah, for health
Pero
reasons.
you finished naman your work there sa Yemen, no?
Yeah, I finished my work, even if,
Oo.
as usual, even if you're on for medical leave.
Oo.
So, your passion in working, you still need to support your team on a distance. So, we still keep on, supporting them.
Yeah.
Parang work from home that time.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
okay. So yung bale you technically finished your work in Yemen when you left. Is that
Yes,
correct?
yes,
Or
yeah.
pinababalik ka when you feel better, whatever health issues you're addressing, pwede kang bumalik.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
correct? Sa
They
Yemen.
still,
Oo. No,
in fact,
I think that's very important. For
yeah,
health reasons, you give up a position that you were holding on for the reason that health is more important, di ba?
that's
But
it.
at the
That's
same time,
uh-uh.
you hope, and I think you dream of the day that will not stop you. It's just a
Yeah,
temporary respite for whatever health reasons that you have.
yeah. This is
Basahin ko
something.
lang yung some of the comments na Evelyn,
Yeah.
from Sonia Rocco, yung nagbigay sa atin ng kanta. Hi, Cora, Raymond, and Evelyn. Listening and watching. Talagang maganda yung istorya ni Evelyn. From Mabel Roa, good afternoon. I'm impressed by Ma'am Evelyn's contributions to the promotion of primary health care in the country, especially in her role in the Barangay Health Workers Training Program. Also impressed by her stints abroad. Yes, marami siyang napuntahan doon, no? Susan Labsang, hello from Palau. God bless you, be safe. Si Maricel Florendo Labsang din, good afternoon. Naman watching from Quezon City. And Elm Pin, hello Dr. Raymond, and of course hello din to Ma'am Cora and Ma'am Evelyn. So maybe si Raymond is already driving, pero baka meron ka bang gustong itanong kay Evelyn o pakwento mo kung ano yung gusto mong malaman sa stint niya abroad. Her last posting was Yemen. Go ahead,
Actually,
Raymond.
Secretary, sa haba ng paglilingkod ni Ma'am Laksina, no, sa Philippine Red Cross, ang una kong tanong ay saan ito nag-umpisa, no? Kasi hindi lahat ng tao ay merong calling at saka commitment, no, para sa volunteerism, no, katulad ng ginagawa natin sa Philippine Red Cross. Siguro para ma-inspire ang ating mga tagapakinig, Ma'am Laksina, no, kailan po ito nyo naramdaman na kayo ay hindi para sa ibang korporasyon, kung hindi kayo para sa kapwa, alam mo yun, para sa paglilingkod sa kapwa, di ba? Kasi siguro naman po ay maliwanag ito sa lahat na ang pagsisilbi sa Philippine Red Cross ay hindi kung magkano, kung hindi anong kaya mong gawin para sa kapwa mo. Ano po? Kailan po ito nagsimula? At paano po ito nagsimula? Paano niyo po naramdaman na I have this calling, no, to volunteer and to care for other people? And of course, through Philippine Red Cross po.
Okay. Kahit nung wala pa ako sa Red Cross, when I was still on high school, this is the first time when I exposed to the Red Cross kasi during high school days, we have this chapter in Misamis Oriental, Cagayan de Oro City. So they are actually promoting the first aid courses and orientation for disaster preparedness. Disaster preparedness fund during that time. You have the short course and they still have a simulation. So we have this part of our activity as a Girl Scout during the time in high school, and this is where we have this training from the Red Cross, and I think this was the start of my connection with the Red Cross. And then of course the second one again is during my college days. This is talaga yung talagang doon mo ma-appreciate yung work ng Red Cross through my course in nursing. Kasi when you did some community nursing, so our community nursing is we have a 2 weeks theoretical training, and then 4 weeks practicum. So yung 4 weeks practicum na yan, we need to go out to the fields. Talagang in 1 month, it's a voluntary namin sa Red Cross, no? It's one of the output of the Red Cross. And in 1 month, we have to select a chapter where we need to do some training. So I think this is the time, this is talaga nag-trigger yung passion ko for community work, because now my work with the Red Cross is more on the health and on public health. This is where nag-trigger ang work ko, because we need to organize community nursing. We need to organize disaster nursing in the community itself, sa mga barangay level. And doon mo makikita talaga yung hunger ng tao ba for courses. And even we train teachers during the time to be as instructors para mapalaganap talaga yung health promotion that time, and that is part of the primary health care. And I think talaga nag-trigger talaga yung ano din, because para if you work with the primary health care areas,
Prepare,
this is where you are with the people actually, and maririnig mo sa kanila yung pangangailangan nila in terms of health, and this is where maybe you can contribute a lot. And then with the training with the Red Cross, you have a training on the basic first aid pag may nangangailangan, and then you can immediately respond to, no?
Yeah.
So
Kahit walang doktor.
So this is where I appreciate much. And talagang pinagdaanan namin noon, pupunta kami sa bundok, even when we train with primary healthcare again. Kaya yung pagpasok ko sa Red Cross, ang pasok ko talaga is primary healthcare. And I think my boss that time, Jelma, really, nakita niya rin siguro yung ano ko, yung passion ko for that kind of work. Kasi teaching, it's not teaching, no? Parang sa pagtuturo mo ng health promotion is only basic, but it's actually ways to prevent illness, and at the same time para bang maging ano, parang it leads to a community, it leads to a healthy community if it started with the primary health care, and all the people, even at the household level, ay may karunungan sila in the basic health. And I think yung passion ko talaga na at least din to serve, hindi naman to serve, no, basta kung nakatulong ka, I think it's a passion to help, no? Parang it's a preparation probably that God builds up myself in, not for myself pero para tumulong. Hindi tulong na ano, kasi even if your presence by itself is already nag-comfort din sa mga tao, even in all my mission.
And I remember when I met you, I was already Secretary General you came back, kasi I started 2006 up to 2009, and you came back I think 2007, di ba? 2007, and therefore, di ba? And then you came back to help pa, di ba? And what was your post now when you went back to Red Cross? Ano yung naging role mo? Kasi I don't, syempre, matagal na yun, I don't remember. You went back to ano?
yung special task ko noon, because when I come back, I'm no longer occupy the position in CHNS because
Yes.
I Dr. Francis.
Community health nursing. Oo.
So, you've given me a special task on chapter development.
Yes.
And
Kasi
then on
yun
the,
ang nawawala eh.
yeah,
Yung
on
primary health care sa chapters.
yeah,
Tama-tama.
at saka special projects. It was really a good start leap for me to expand my horizon of work aside from specific on health, because there is always a connection to that, because with my technical background on health, and then you give me a special assignment on chapter support, a special project, so I was able actually to link again to the chapters, supporting and promoting the programs through the chapter services, and even we work together with Andot for the chapter reporting. So it was really a good thing, and it started my
Yeah.
expansion of my responsibility.
Oo. Kasi sa mga nakikinig, nanonood sa atin, ang konsepto kasi sa Red Cross, pwedeng ma-assign sa other countries, other societies. But when they come back, they can be integrated. Meron
Yeah.
pa rin silang pwedeng magawa based on what they did abroad, na nagturo sila, and they can enhance that in the Red Cross. Or if not, ay mag-hone pa ng skills sila sa Red Cross so they can go back.
Yeah.
And I think this is what happened to you kasi you went back immediately ba saan ka na nanggaling? When you left Red Cross in when did you leave Red Cross?
2005, yung
Hindi,
sa first
pero nang bumalik ka, I was already Secretary General eh. And then
2007.
you were with, and
Yeah.
then you left again. When
I
did you
left
leave?
Pakistan 2010, and that was where there was a
Yun.
flood operation in Pakistan.
Yeah.
So I was the health coordinator of the
Yeah.
of the federation at the time. So
Kasi
it
when
was
I left,
yes.
you were still there but you left na 2010. Kasi ako, I stayed only up to 2009. So,
Opo.
I was following up on the Jelma. I met Jelma, I think, in Myanmar. And then, I met Aida also in Bangkok. Maraming
Yeah.
mga places na sabi nga ni Mabel Roa, Miss Laksina has the heart and spirit of a true volunteer. Kasi ibig sabihin, wherever you go, you train people. Tapos sabi din, Maricel Florent de Labsa, my big salute to you, Ma'am Evelyn, of your selfless passion in serving, helping not only Filipino people, but also the other countries. Thank you and God bless you, ma'am. And Evelyn Roda, my former staff, who now lives in Maryland in the US. Pero every nakikinig, nanonood sa atin. Kaya at si Sonia Rocco din, thanks to someone like you, Evelyn. Kasi your story speaks really of your passion. At even if you're here only on home leave or sick leave, you know that you really have a story to tell para sa mga nanonood sa atin na they can work in other countries but still being a Filipino. Kaya nga tama yung kanta natin, yan ang Pilipino. Wherever you go, Pilipino ka na, bibigay ka ng contribution. Oo.
Ito
So,
talaga.
meron pa tayong 20 minutes. Anong pinaka-challenges na nakita mo? Kasi yung peace and order sa mga countries sa pinuntahan mo, syempre hindi naman kami familiar, pero saan yung pinakamahirap na hindi ka basta makalabas o hindi constraint sa'yo in terms of the peace and order in that country? In which country did you experience that na medyo it's hard to get around, it's hard to medyo that you had difficulty? Saan ang pinaka-challenging?
Kasi lahat ng mission ko in 4 countries, may kanya-kanyang challenges yan because in fact, Myanmar during that time is under military during the time. And then Pakistan, they have some
military rule din doon, si Pakistan, diba?
That hindi naman, pero may restriction sila in terms of
Oo.
security. There are branches, there are provinces that has a security concerns. Afghanistan also, because of the Taliban, these conflict areas,
Mm.
and Yemen. But I think pare-pareho, because when I was in Afghanistan and Yemen, this is where you cannot just go out to the branches to do some monitoring. Much more with Yemen during my time there. But at least we have also, but we link with ICRC.
Okay. Saan kayo nakatira? Pag nandoon kayo sa Yemen, sa Afghanistan, were you living in a community with other expatriates, working
Yeah.
also in international organizations? Ganun ba?
Yeah, we work with ICRC. So whenever we go out, we need to have a security coordination with ICRC. And even we need to use ICRC vehicles to go to the field. This is the movement partners coordination and cooperation in conflict areas. So, yeah, ang challenges lang talaga is that, okay, aside from security reason, of course, one thing is challenging din talaga to work with the national societies, because not all national societies like Philippine Red Cross has the same level. Philippine Red Cross is far more active and dynamic, but some of the national societies have their own concerns, have their own problems, and that's it. So iba-iba yan. In fact, some of the branches are not that active. So that's why we need to prepare still the chapters. And even funding also is one of the concerns. Although I work with the federations, we still need to do some appeals like fundraising to continue the operations. Of course, not all national society has the funding, like Afghanistan or Yemen. Developing national society, so they're just still on the height, developing one. Of course, in terms of volunteers, there are a lot of volunteers with the Red Cross globally, and I really appreciate that. No, the staff also, they have all the commitment and passion in all their work, even without proper compensations, but we still work with the Red Cross because I think we enjoy work with the Red Cross very much. So I think in terms of challenges, I may say one, security. You don't know kung baka mamaya bigla ka na lang tamaan in the caught of the crossfire. But then we have a very strict security protocol that we need to follow. Even if we go to the office, we need to have a convoy. Talagang alerto kami, baka mamaya bigla na lang may mag-stop sa amin, tapos dudukutin ka na lang, di ba? Like the one we always have in Afghanistan. And also Yemen, like sabi mong suicidal or blast. And then, of course, that's one in terms of my work. And the second one is challenges with the national societies. They have a lot of problems that you need to listen also, but you need to, to have empathy with them, and then you need to continue this, coach them, and their hunger for your support actually, and learn from other national societies through our presence there in the national societies. And of course, the third is funding. Although Federation has a funding, but I think there are a lot of needs in the national societies that sometimes we cannot provide everything. So also apektado ka rin apektado ka rin sa work, how much you support, but still the funding available is only like this. So,
But your salary was provided by IFRC, hindi naman National Society. Yun naman ang ginagawa ng IFRC, di ba? They fund you. Kaya medyo you're an international person in a way. Hindi ka paid by the National Society.
But, you're not,
so that's the good thing.
But the thing din kasi is that working with the National Society, of course, personally for work, security, but then I think you really need to work hard, no? Kasi
Yeah.
Siyempre may mga meetings, may mga ganon, and then you need to beat all the deadlines, preparing proposals, preparing appeals, operations, mga ganon-ganon. So I think it's similar
But
to what we
but
yeah.
it honed you. Ibig sabihin, that experience taught you how to do it so that you can go to any country and know
Yeah.
how it works, no? And
Opo.
sana, coming back to the Philippines, you can see, kasi enormous ang ating naging challenge because of the
Mm,
COVID-19. Hindi
yeah.
mo naman inabutan ng COVID-19 doon eh. Wala pa silang
Baka,
COVID-19.
kasi nakalabas
Wala
na
pa.
ako.
Nasa
Mm.
na na ano ka na, natamaan ka na sa Philippines
Oo.
ng COVID-19. In
At
other words,
nandito na ako nung
you were already free
yes.
from the International Federation of Red Cross at the time.
Opo, oo. Pero ma'am, I also
Oo.
appreciate my experience with the Philippine Red
Kaya,
Cross.
well,
Because,
anyway,
yeah.
oo.
Kasi yung, yun yung, with us Filipinos going outside, yung experience natin sa Red Cross, sa Philippine Red Cross is really widespread, no? Parang doon talaga ako natuto. Kaya with pride and confidence, we were able to do our work as a IFRC delegates. So, and then after that, we continuously learn and we continuously share and merong training. So, but initially, it's actually all from the Philippine Red Cross experience that I have. I really owe a lot on my career with Philippine Red Cross. I worked there for 23 years pala ako.
23 years. Sabi mga 23.
Oo.
Oo. Ako nga when I think na I just became Secretary General 2006, 2021 na ngayon. So 15 years na that I've
Oo.
been attached to the Red Cross. Pero yung I gave up the thought of doing international work. Tama na yung pag-attend sa Geneva, sa Southeast Asian countries, pag mga conferences, dahil wala nang opportunity to be able to work. But anyway, meron pa tayong about 10 minutes. Ano naman yung na-observe mo sa Philippines na challenges pa rin, no? Because you're here on a respite care, ang tingin ko sa'yo, while you're here, pero hoping that sooner or later you will go back sa to to see or join the challenges elsewhere in other countries. Anong nakita mong future mo dito sa Philippines or where else do you want to go in other countries?
Yeah,
Kung meron ka.
if I have still the passion to work back with the Red Cross movement, but in fact now I'm still need to prioritize my health. But if there is an opportunity, I think for me it is anywhere where God
Good.
leads me. No? Going with the Philippine Red Cross here, I'm still I'm still look at parang I still have a connection with the Red Cross, like with Mark, and then in Quezon City chapter, and I said if even I still offer whatever voluntary service that I have, or if they want to get in touch with me, then they can just call me anytime and to give some support, technical support if needed. And even some of my colleagues in my previous mission in 4 different countries, we still have connections around. So I'm still willing to go back in the health focus. At the same time, widening my experience in the program coordinations and like that. It's more management staff. Sometimes you want to go back on the field, and do some, assessment or doing some research on
Ako
some training.
ang challenge na kita ko sa iyo ngayon is to be able to write your experience. What do you remember? What do you celebrate? And what do you believe that an expat, in a way you were an expatriate na working there under the aegis of IFRC, learnings. Because I think many people from the Red Cross should have the opportunity to go talaga to the other countries hard as it might be, pero challenge talaga yun. And I think that's what we want to teach people in the Red Cross, that you are not forever in the national society. You can go to other national societies, help them or learn from them, and still come back to be able to share. So we have a few minutes, Raymond. Your take? Ano pa yung gusto mong tanungin kay Evelyn? Go ahead.
Una, Secretary, napakalaki ng pasasalamat, no, dapat ng sambayan ng Pilipinas, no, na serbisyong binibigay ng Philippine Red Cross, no. At sa kalagitnaan ng mga kontrobersya, di ba? Nagpapasalamat po ako personally kay Ma'am Lacfina na narito po kayo ngayon. Isang patotoo, no, na ang pagsisilbi sa Red Cross ay para sa Diyos at sa bayan, no. And right now, na-implicate nga po yung... Ano pong masasabi niyo dito sa issue na ito, Ma'am Evelyn? Bago po tayo matapos ng programa ito, ano po ang inyong nararamdaman? Ano po ang inyong pananaw, haka-haka, sa issue, no? Na kung saan ay na-implicate ang Philippine Red Cross right now.
Kinu-question ang pamahalaan, ang papel na ginagawa ng Philippine Red Cross. Go ahead, Evelyn.
Pero syempre, nasasaktan akong marinig yung negative about the organization because I know very well that the Red Cross is not the government. So parang we are here to support humanity. Hindi yung sali-sali sa mga, yung mga controversial na issue. But of course, what we are also trying to support is we also solicit, we also ask for appeal yung sa may mga mamamayan na may kakayahan to give back to the Red Cross in order for us to continue our operations in the field, especially for those who are in need, vulnerable. Kasi gano'n naman yun eh. We don't have that money. We started as a voluntary organization. And then there are many organizations who supported the Red Cross because they believe the integrity and the services of the Red Cross. So, siyempre masakit din yun, no? Mahirap yun, may sakit yun. That's why we at the Red Cross is trying to promote and advocate the Red Cross, yung principles ng Red Cross. Ano ba yung aming vision and ano ba yun ang aming mission? So, we are trying hard. Hanggang ngayon, siyempre, generation, there are new generation, but I think the Red Cross still continue to advocate and promote its principles and its vision to humanitarian world. So, parang masakit, no? But I think this is our role as the Red Cross, na maging role model din kami, yung aming actions should be in a proper way. We are transparent, and yung credibility namin to serve the people and their passion to serve the people and commitment also is there. So, yan din. But I think for us, no questions. For staff and volunteers of the Red Cross, we are always have the sincerity and passion to serve. Yun ang masasabi ko. Kasi parang nasa atin na yun eh. Nasa vocation na natin yun eh. We are being called to that kind of work. Yeah. So, yan nga po ang nakakalungkot ngayon, Ma'am Lacfina, and Secretary, no? Habang ang mga NGOs, yung ganitong Philippine Red Cross ay may puso, di ba? At commitment para sa paglilingkod sa bayan, no? Pag tinignan mo naman ang pamahalaan in general, no? Dapat to siguro lahat ng nagsiserve sa government nagdadaan muna dun sa volunteerism, para pag napwesto sila sa gobyerno ay mas nararamdaman nila ang paglilingkod para sa hindi para sa sarili, kung hindi para sa kapwa-tao. Siguro mailagay dapat sa qualifications bago tumakbo, nagkaroon muna ng volunteerism activity bago mamasok sa gobyerno, kasi habang tayo ay nangangalap ng resources para sa isang organisasyong katulad ng Red Cross, ay narito naman ang ibang mga nasa pamahalaan, no, na sa halip na gamitin ng resources para sa kapakanan ng tao,
ay nadadivert into something ungodly. Ayun na po, siguro po bago tayo magtapos, election na po next year, 2022. At ito po ay pagpili ng leader. Ito po ang paborito naming tanong, no? Meron po bang ano pong pag-asa ang inyong nakikita para sa 2022 po?
Para sa akin. Okay. For me, para sa 2022, I think I pray for a better Philippines. Lahat, economically, lahat tayo, at least yung, alam na naman natin na marami nahihirap, but at least, ma-lift up yung ibang mamamayan, and then maybe magtulong-tulong lahat. And then, of course, continuously support the Red Cross. I may say na, siyempre, loyalist ako sa Red Cross, di ba? But there are still government also, LGU, that also supports the Red Cross. They're supporting the Red Cross by itself din. And they're all, even friends of the Red Cross. So, basta ang ano ko lang is a better Philippines, better work for the Red Cross, na will be, sabi nga, will be a leading humanitarian organization in the Philippines. But then at least we work with quality, we work with passion, continuously work with passion for the change, no? Lalo na to touch the lives of other people who are in needs. Alam ko na yung na-touch ng Red Cross, nasa puso nila yung serbisyo ng Red Cross at hindi nila yan malilimutan. So I think that's what I said, but I would like also to say that yung mga kasama ko sa Red Cross before, when I was with Philippine Red Cross, marami kaming mga nurses and we have many project staff, mga projects on primary healthcare related and expanded to community projects. Nasa ano na sila, they are all project staff, nasa labas na sila halos lahat sa Philippines, and they're still keep on coming back to the Philippines and kinukumusta ako, and then we even have a group, and then we have operations in Mount Pinatubo and earthquake in Bago. So ang dami noon, and they really appreciate much the Red Cross and our experience that they bring back to their life. They apply even to their life, family life, and even to where they live now. So ito lang masasabi ko, at maraming salamat sa lahat ng contribution ninyo sa Red Cross.
Secretary, hindi po kayo narinig. You're muted. Secretary.
Mahina po, ma'am. Ala. Cora, hindi kayo marinig.
Every time we get like we are able to let our country away. Kaya maraming salamat, Erwin. I hope to see you again. Keep you, asahan mo, I'm with you always.
Salamat po, Ma'am Cora. Salamat po, Doc Reymund.
Keep you tayo.